Next week, on the 31st of January, National Director of Public Prosecutions Shamila Batohi officially leaves office, closing a significant chapter at the National Prosecuting Authority. Batohi exits after 7 years at the helm, becoming the first NDPP since 1998 to complete a term without being fired or forced out. Her tenure stabilized a battered institution, but it also frustrated many South Africans hoping for faster, high-profile convictions linked to state capture. As she steps aside, Advocate Andy Mutibi is set to take over the reins. So what exactly is Batohi's legacy, and what kind of NDPP does the country need now? And of course, we are heading for another transparent open era or a tougher road ahead. To unpack this, we're joined by former Constitutional Court Justice Johann Kriegler. Justice, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it.
Good afternoon to you.
I spoke to the Minister of Justice not too long ago, and I asked the Minister of Justice, how would you describe the term that Shamila Batohi had, trying to get a rating out of her? And she said they were good and they were bad. She described the bad specifically as Shamila Batohi coming into office and not quite appreciating the difficulty of what it will take to turn the organization around. And fix the organizational health, and of course that there were internal battles that she was facing. Do you think that's a fair characterization?
I think it's relatively fair. I would be more favorable, slightly more favorable. I'd give her 5% more than the minister gave her. I think that the job was objectively impossible. I think it is still very, very difficult indeed. Shamila Batohi did not succeed in getting the ship on course and sailing at an appropriate speed, but then I don't think anybody else could have, and certainly not in 7 years. It's a generation's job now. You know, we've come from 98. It's, 18 years that they have been hiccuping, struggling, occasionally stumbling, having fights, and it is a vital institution. It's not going to be rectified by one person and one term of office.
Yeah.
And she didn't succeed.
Her predecessor, Shaun Abrahams, was described as an NDPP who enabled for the political capture of the institution, or at least the politicization of the NPA rather. Do you think Shamila was able to undo a great deal of that perception of the institution?
I don't think so, and I think it's unfair to Shaun Abrahams, on behalf of whom I held no brief whatsoever.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the lone agent. It was a slow drift towards the swamp that Batohi then encountered.
What do we have a sense and an appreciation of what it would take to undo the perception of the political capture and politicization of the prosecuting authority?
It will require more than the National Prosecuting Authority, quite clearly. It will require the cooperation of, first of all, the executive as a whole, more attention, more weight being given, more support being given by the National Cabinet from the top down. For instance, we had agitated a group of responsible citizens, had agitated and urged the president in the middle of last year, get a committee going to select a team, a panel for you to choose from. Nothing happened for months and months and months, and in the end it was a hurried, not all that tidy selection process, and the appointment of Advocate Mutibi was contrary to the process that had been followed. So the thing starts off with a hiccup at the beginning, and that's highly undesirable. It indicates a lack of appreciation on the part of the national executive of the importance to all of us of a properly functioning, properly supported, properly funded National Prosecuting Authority.
Advocate Mutibi will not be serving a 7-year term.
Well, he may be, who knows, the president can extend his term in terms of the statute as it is now, but of course the statute can be amended. The term of office and the retirement age is a matter of statute, and the Parliament can change the law if they want to.
Is that something you think they should consider?
I think they may well be thinking of it already. I don't think they would have appointed a person to the position realizing that there were only 2 years in it. I suspect that the executive has in mind extending the term of office.
What are some of these structural and substantive deficiencies in the NPA that Mothibi will urgently need to cast his attention to?
They are not technical, they are not substantive, they are political. There is to this day still a rift, as it was made clear in the course of the childcare investigation, that there is still very much 2 main schools within the National Prosecuting Authority. It's been troubling them for 15 years. I knew about it at the time when Freedom Under Law was battling with JIBA and childcare way back in 2015. That spirit is still there. It's not a matter of administration and formal rules only. It's a matter of personalities, it's a matter of culture, it's a matter of sense of loyalty and belonging to a single organization. That will take time, it will take leadership, it will take a lot of concerted effort by a lot of senior people within the organization.
Yeah. Fascinatingly, you mentioned childcare, and there's a commission of inquiry currently underway, or at least an inquiry into his fitness to hold office. Shamila Batohi appeared before it and, walked out of it, and she was, of course, wrapped over the knuckles and had to account for her behavior there. But are there issues that you perhaps would have heard coming out of that process that worry you about the internal dynamics of some of the most senior people in the NPA?
Indeed, yes. It is clear from the line of defense taken in the case of childcare that there is still a decided rift, a deep difference of opinion, of culture, of loyalty within the NPA, which has to be addressed as a matter of urgency.
What does that look like? Out with the old, in with the new? Because, these are people who are still within the organization.
It's not, there aren't blacks and whites in this. There are dark greys and light greys. It's subtle. To be a prosecutor is a difficult job. It's a judgment job. To say that somebody's judgment is wrong is not that easy. There are differences of emphasis within the department, I am sure. I'm no expert at the moment. This is merely a view from the outside.
Yeah, and you're right. It is a job of judgment, and sometimes there are debates around whether or not, given the limitation of resources they have, whether a particular case is worth pursuing, given the prospects there, versus, say, another case with potentially higher prospects that could use those resources and for a successful prosecution to happen there. And these are ongoing debates. But judgment is not devoid of influence, right?
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. And at the highest levels of prosecution, politics comes into it inevitably. It cannot be otherwise. And there are differences of opinion, differences of emphasis, differences of perspective will arise. And that will be in the NPA, whether it runs smoothly or, as it is at the moment, limping along a little.
You said 5% more than the minister. What's the rating out of 10?
I wouldn't presume to do that. She had a very, very tough job. She did not succeed. Let's put it at that.
Johann Kriegler, thank you so much for your time. It's an
You're
absolute
welcome.
honor and privilege to have you here. Really do appreciate it.